up, guys? I just wanted to showcase my new plugin that I've been working on here. Basically, I needed a solution to a problem I've been having where I have like a local sort of cloud built, and it's using a service called Nextcloud. And basically, this is like a personal Google Drive that's all private and locally hosted. My cloud is basically hosted on this Pi, and my Nextcloud or my Pi holds a like about 10 terabytes of storage. It's connected to like a big hard drive bay. Um, Basically, I use this storage for like my personal cloud data, and I have Nextcloud and I have Git, things like that. Because the problem I run into with game dev, especially, is like I need to upload things to GitHub. There's not enough like storage, and I have to use the crappy like LFS stuff, and I didn't want to have to do that. So I kind of came up with this plan. So basically, just a big file drive storage with also like a personal Git service. But I came up with a new plugin for Godot because I needed a way to like communicate with the Nextcloud service within Godot. Because I thought it'd be nice to have a personal like file explorer, but inside Godot where I can just pull and push to. And so that's kind of like where I came up with this plugin is like, okay, how can we just like put in a URL, the Nextcloud credentials, and then point to like a folder that we can store our Godot assets in between all projects, right? So I'm going to show you that right here, actually. So if we go over here, this is called the Nextcloud doc. This is sort of my solution to this problem. We have a refresh button to refresh all the files. We have a search bar. And if we go to my Nextcloud, this is what it looks like. If you don't know, Nextcloud is like a personal, private Google Drive that you can use to store any type of data. So super useful if you're like running your own company and you have like private assets that you just want to stay in your company. That's kind of what I use this for. And it just runs on a little Raspberry Pi connected to a big drive bay. And it's running, if you guys know anything about cloud stuff, you want to make it kind of as private as you can. So I'm using something called Tailscale, which is like, it's basically like a big private VPN. So it's a private network that you can kind of connect to from like your devices. And you have to have like specific credentials to actually have access to this personal cloud. But this is basically my computer, and I can connect to my my cloud here, right? That's the goal. It's all private, so even if like you knew the URL to the services here, you wouldn't be able to access it because you don't have like the Tailscale credentials to actually be able to access it. So that's a little more in depth, but if you guys are kind of cloud nerds and stuff, then you might know what I'm talking about. But basically, this is my cloud here. You can see that this folder structure is mimicking my Nextcloud, Google Cloud, Godot Cloud sort of like folder structure here. And yeah, so the reason for this is because we wanted like a single file system that's in the cloud that we can reference from all of our projects that we can download and push to very quickly, right? We don't want to have to like click here, download, drag it into Godot, vice versa, take this, open the file system, drag it into, like, it's very like tedious and monotonous. We don't want to have to do that. We want to be able to just do it directly in the engine so we can just push and pull very quickly the assets that we've already built for previous games, things like that, right? So let me give you a little demonstration. First, we'll go over like downloading some of the code, by the way. It's a little wild, but yeah, if you guys want another video for that, I can show you that. But also, this is not a public plugin yet. I'm still figuring things out. If you guys do think you'd be interested in this, let me know. If nobody's that interested, I probably just won't push it out, because I think there's a difference between personal plugins and like actual release plugins for other people. It would take a bit more work, right? But yeah, let me show you guys. So we have a search bar, we have a refresh button. Refresh just repulls and refreshes the cache in Godot for all the files that exist on the server. And so let's say we want this fuel image. We just have to right click, and then there's a little download button. And so you can see it, the status downloaded fuel, and it basically downloaded from this this path on my Pi. And yeah, so here's the path, and there's a little status message. If we go to the file system, we'll create a folder called Nextcloud imports in your res directory. And if we drop this down, you can see it automatically filters out into its own folder. That's basically done by this. It'll basically like automatically drop it into a specific folder depending on the file type. I think I'm going to add something in the config to where you could add your own extensions, things like that, because people might not want this type of functionality, but I think it's very useful when you're trying to be snappy and quick with things. You don't want to have to like take time organizing everything. So it's nice just to like have things filter into their own folders. Great, so that's downloading. Very simple. We can also download entire folders. So if we do that, probably takes a little longer. It'll import everything. It has to import everything that's in that folder because it just does it recursively. And if we go here to Nextcloud imports, we can see that it imported a lot of the folders and the subfolders that were in that images directory. You know, there's some work that could be done with this, of course, but you get the idea, right? Let me delete this. I don't want those. Totally fine to delete all those if you want, depending if you want to keep them or not, because they're just in your cloud anyway. I have some boom sound effects. Let's import some of these. So let's say we want this sound effect. Yeah, we can just download, and it'll go straight to our file system. It'll import everything. Nextcloud goes into an audio file. Great. And then we have our sound effect. So, great, you get the idea of downloading, but now let's say we want to just upload something very quickly. We don't want to think about it too much, like where it's going to go. We don't have to create like a file system in Nextcloud. We don't have to do all that to organize stuff, because we want to be able to organize without having to take a crap ton of time to organize, right? So let's say we want to upload this world environment. If we right click, I have this little button here. It's called upload to Nextcloud. You can imagine what that does. So we hit upload, and it does freeze the engine a little bit. But then we get a 204. A 204, I'm learning, means that it just overwrit the file name that's called this, because it had the same path. So we go here into our Nextcloud. Actually, we could just go here. We can hit refresh, and then everything's cached and updated. And we can see this is our path. So we are in the Godot cloud folder in this one. You can see that defined by here. This is our path. So if we go to assets, go to environments, and now we have the world TRES or environment. And so, yeah, so we have that. We can also pull it down. And so it says downloaded. And that's in our imports now. If it doesn't understand where it's supposed to go, it'll just go into other. But obviously, I'm going to create more folders for different Godot specific things. But yeah, that's basically it. If you guys think this is kind of like something you'd want for those that are self-hosting their Nextcloud things and cloud services, let me know. But yeah, that's going to be the end of the video. Just wanted to showcase this. I'm probably going to work it into my workflow just so I can quickly upload and download things. And reusing is very important. I'm learning in game development, so to save a lot of time. So let's do that. But yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.